Hello, everyone, and welcome to what I refer to as the Grumps, Gripes, and Grumbles podcast. I am joined by a special guest today. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
Hello, everyone who ever listens to this. My name is Gravekenshin.
And he is the next protagonist for Persona 6. Kappa.
Yes, as by our gracious host's Discord channel, that is what I'm referred to as.
I will be sure to leave a link to the Discord in the description for anybody, by the way. So, the podcast that we're doing today is, well, let me explain what the podcast is first before we get to that. So, this is a podcast that's supposed to be like an hour and a half-ish, maybe an hour if we don't have a whole lot to cover. But I cap it at 2 hours minimum, because people's throats get sore and all that other stuff. It's just supposed to be kind of a relaxing spiel of myself and any other guests we have on, just talking about life, talking about the things that make us happy, and hopefully some things that make you, the viewer, happy, because we're trying to reach out to those with anxiety issues and depression, and to just make the world feel like it's not all going up in hell scorch.
Even though that's really hard to say, what is it isn't going in hell scorch these days.
Yeah, a lot of things have happened, and not just in like the political world, and not just in the news, not just worldwide, in everybody's lives as well. We face a lot of different stuff, and I'm sure a lot of people who were expecting episode 2 to come out right on schedule the week after the first one was posted, like 2 years ago. Well, I have something to share about that. And the reason that I didn't quite get as consistent with these uploads as I would like to be is because, number one, I don't have a lot of free time. I'm in college right now. I'm taking Japanese, which is cool. Really like the teacher, really like the class. And also because just a lot of things have been going on with my family lately. My mother, in particular, has had a lot of health issues recently, that in the last year, actually, that have just not been very kind to her. She's just recently recovered. Hello, Star.
Hello. I am now free for the podcast.
Wow, alright. I was just going over the introductory spiel. Alright. And I was just kind of talking about why I haven't been able to basically why this is not episode 200 and it is actually episode 2.
That's perfectly fine.
Gonna adjust your audio just a little bit. You are at 200% on my end. Whoopsie.
Whoops. Must be pretty loud, eh?
Yeah. And don't mind the images you guys are seeing on screen right now. I'm just gonna occasionally just flip between a bunch of stuff I have in my meme bucket, so enjoy the pictures.
That's perfectly fine.
And, yeah, just, like I said, in school, not a lot of free time, family health issues, they're just now getting better, and I have 2 days to myself here while my parents are off in a hotel on, like, the other side of the state that I live in, just relaxing. Basically, they're on a mini vacation of their own, and they deserve it. I kind of wish they were taking a slightly longer one, maybe 2 more days wouldn't hurt, but they're worried about leaving me home alone, like, for whatever reason. It's fine.
Well, good for them. I
But,
wish my mom could
you know, taking advantage of the free time I get while they're out. I do not feel comfortable recording in their presence, because sometimes I use language they may not enjoy me using.
Well, my mom doesn't care, so...
Yeah. Your mom don't give a fuck.
Yeah, if I was on my dad's, he wouldn't be caring either. I'd just be letting him know I'm doing something here that would require the utmost amount of quietude in my room. But
Oh, Neon, thanks for the host.
If it's about my mom, that's a different story, though. To be frank, just me and my grandmother, and she could probably barely hear me as it.
Well, I wish my mom could take a vacation.
Yeah, from what I heard earlier, it sounds like she's going through some tough times. Is there anything you feel comfortable sharing?
Yeah, well, doctors are incompetent. That's basically it.
Yeah,
Yes.
that seems to be the story with a lot of moms these days, is that the doctors are all idiots and that they know everything, and I don't know.
Well, actually, when we were on the East Coast, Mama had fantastic doctors. She had
Yeah,
no problems.
that
Moved over here. Oh shit.
I
Does
ironically enough, it is the same case with my mother. When we were on the east side of my state, we had like some of the best doctors in the frickin' country. And then when we moved over here, she needed to get like a second opinion, then a third opinion, then a fourth opinion, and she had like XYZ medications for whatever the hell was going on. None of them fixed it. Finally went to a surgeon that could set her straight. Everything is perfectly fine. She's on vacation now. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, but hold my beer. I got something better.
Oh, you'll do your better with you. Wise Gamora.
So, my mom hurt her knee. She was at work. She was walking, then it popped. So, she made an appointment with the doctor because we moved over here. She needed a new primary. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna wait till December. Wait till I get the appointment go in. The appointment comes. She goes in. There's no doctor.
Hmm.
There's an assistant doctor. You can't sign off on our MRI.
Hmm.
It's a nurse practitioner. And the doctor that's supposed to be there isn't there anymore. She went off to another office.
Oh, that's an issue.
And the best thing is that they prescribed her medication, right?
Yeah.
They never called it in to Publix.
Ah.
And she called back in. She's like, where's my medication? And the girl's like, what medication? And she's like,
Oh.
are you fucking kidding me?
Oof.
The medication you prescribed me. She's like, oh, let me call it now. And my mom's like, you were supposed to call it yesterday. What the hell were you doing? Did you forward over my MRI yet?
Ah, boy.
So that's what my mom's been dealing with these past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Trying to get this stuff done.
Yeah.
And now, it's like in limbo.
Yeah, I don't blame her for something you mentioned in the Discord earlier about taking legal action. It sounds like it's a really bad case for the doctor.
My mom's really pissed.
Yeah, I do not blame her one bit.
Yeah, it's probably both an issue for both the initial doctor and probably for the hospital wherever she was at working at currently. Because like they didn't call in advance to let her know that the doctor was moving, so that's an issue on both their ends there. And it's taking this long to actually remotely begin possibly anywhere going. Yeah, that's some massive legal issues right there that can be thrown against them.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Just for the record, on my end here, I've got nothing really going on in my life that's outwardly annoying or anything like that. Outside the fact is, it's the holidays.
Yeah.
And I'm stuck at my mom's for the week, stay with my grandmother and the dogs. Other than that, there's nothing else really gone wrong in my life so far.
Did you get anything good for Christmas?
All of us were just cash, and right now I'm sitting on over $200 right now, but I've got 120 on. That count the 120 I've got on standby for Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah. My mom couldn't even order me presents because she has to save money because of the knee thing.
Yeah.
So.
I feel so sorry for you, Star.
You're in a real bad spot. Our hearts go out to you.
Yeah. What's worse is that I can't work, and if I did, it wouldn't matter because the money I get from SSI would be better than working at Publix.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure you could find something to do, but like you said, it probably wouldn't matter because like the economy's not like in a bad state or anything. It's just that you're in a bad state. Whoops.
Yeah.
I mean, the good thing about our economy is where SSI is more beneficial than even trying to get like remote actual.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's bad. Because you think actually working would be better than receiving SSI. But nope.
you're in a situation where it doesn't matter either way, honestly.
No, the only way I can make more money is if I go to college, get a degree in something that pays good, and get a job.
Yeah. You interested in law degrees? I think you could use your Phoenix Wright knowledge there, right? They'll let you become a lawyer for
Nah,
playing that?
I have mental instability, plus major depression, plus major anxiety.
Yeah, that wouldn't work. Damn.
No. The best I'd be good at is an office job.
Yeah. A non-stressful office job. Actually,
Yeah.
For
I
me,
could see you
personally,
working
it's
like in
more
elementary school or something, maybe? Serenia, thank you for the host. Didn't
for
even know
my
you were
part,
streaming,
making
actually.
sure I go to law school wouldn't matter. Mainly for the fact is, one, I don't give enough of a shit about other people for the most part,
Oof.
and two, it's more like again, like it also ties in the fact I don't give a fuck, and I'm like, this guy guilty. That's it. I don't give a flying fuck. I'm getting paid here. I'm just gonna do my job.
Well, you would be a good prosecutor in Japan,
Yeah?
because they win all the time.
Probably,
Yeah.
but again, as I said, the thing is, that's more so like I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna do my job here. That's really it. Either way.
Yeah. I think that about covers like all the negativity in everybody's lives, doesn't it? Just
Well, I got a bunch of negativity in my life because of family shit, but I'm not gonna talk about that because
yeah, that's
it,
we
it
all
would take more than 2 hours.
yeah,
Let me
as
just
a
say
personal
that.
rule, I try to keep it to the bare minimum of whatever anybody feels comfortable sharing and just keep it at that. Like if there's something that we unearth that you don't want to talk about, do let me know.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying the family shit that I've been through would take more than 2 hours, and it would all be negative. And I don't think you want me ranting on
Yeah,
for
yeah.
like
I
5
mean,
hours.
if I had an editing software of some kind that would help me like put some textimations on screen, I'm more than certain it would make for good content. But this is not that type of content we're looking to make. All right.
Yeah. So,
Speaking of content, Konami has made some shit, but they've also made some
Getting
jokes.
Getting that out right now.
what did you do this time?
Well, let's go over our history together with it. I know Konami via the trading card game, aka Yu-Gi-Oh! I watched the anime, and I played some of the card game up until recently, where things got all wonky with the rules and formats and shit. And I was like, y'all have fun, I don't get it anymore, I'm just gonna watch the anime now. And the anime is
Yeah.
actually in a pretty weird spot. It started off pretty good, and then some characters went through some weird arcs, and there's a new character that got introduced in this season, and he keeps getting bullshit plot device cards, and it's really irritating, and that seems to be the running theme of this entire show is plot device cards for everybody. You get a plot device card. You get a plot device card. Everybody gets a plot device card. It's bullshit, and I hate that. So here's hoping Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 is good.
That's not good writing.
Yeah.
You could have Deus Machina, but don't do it every single time. Like,
I know.
Deus Machina. No, that's bad
Yeah.
writing.
Yeah, I know it's
So
Yeah,
it's
go
kind
ahead.
of been taking tips from Marvel Comics then.
sure, why not?
I mean, the reason I know about Konami is that they screwed over Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, that's the big thing everybody knows about Konami in recent memory is they just they took their giant Konami dildo and they shoved it right into Mr. Kojima's ass, and I feel sorry for the man. Although
Yeah.
I hear Sony is trying to fund his newest game. Keyword trying.
Oh,
'Cause,
Death Stranding, that weird
Yeah.
game they showed off. with the
Kojima
guy
is
from
just a
Walking
weird
Dead.
man in general. Let's be real here.
Well, yeah, he made Metal Gear Solid, which I've heard is quite strange.
You don't even know that happened.
I'm sure I don't, because I've never played those games.
On a scale of 1 to Kingdom Hearts, the scale is broken. As someone once said. Oh, wait, you guys are
my
on the
issue with
auto host
Konami-
list. Why did I think?
I said my issue with Konami goes back to the Super Nintendo, where my first experience with it was a Super Nintendo game, which I will say for when we get to the positive talking. But other than that, it's mostly that Yu-Gi-Oh, and then eventually catch on some of the other series like Metal Gear Solid through
Yeah.
yeah, LPs and stuff, and
Yeah.
things like such as that there. But mostly from my childhood, it was generally that one game and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
And that was primarily it for my childhood. It's like for a long time with Konami.
I was going to mention another series I thought they did, but then I realized no, that's Capcom.
Yeah, Mega Man.
No, not Mega Man. I was thinking Devil May Cry.
Oh,
That's
I was thinking
Capcom.
maybe Suikoden, because that's another one they abandoned.
Yeah. Konami is famous for abandoning good series for whatever reason that suits them at the time, I guess.
Yeah, because I think it was last year I played Suikoden 1, and then I watched Suikoden 2. I'm like, this is such a good game series. What happened? Capcom happened. I'm like,
Oh.
oh shit.
Capcom happened. Oh. I think it's time for me to change images again. There we go. That's a good meme.
We went sometimes on the negatives outside the main ones that we might have with Konami, like outside, fucking Kojima up the ass and the stupid shit they pulled at the Game Awards when he was
Oh yeah, that was, yeah.
I heard
That was a
terrible.
dick move.
It's a massive dick move. And like if the publicity had initially before wasn't bad, that just boosted up even higher.
Yeah. Well, you know the famous quote, all publicity is good publicity.
God damn it, Yoshi, your fucking next meme picture.
What, the legs?
Yes.
Legs. Holy shit, we have legs! I love My Hero Academia. I played My Hero One's Justice earlier, and outside of some raging, I am enjoying it.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying your game.
Yeah.
And not the biggest fan of the arena fighting type games, but it definitely looks interesting.
Yeah, it's like a mix of Soul Calibur and the show of My Hero Academia characters, and there's a little bit of Street Fighter in there as well, actually, just a little bit.
So it's essentially it's like what Dragon Ball Fighter Z is to like it's Dragon Ball Z mixed with essentially a Marvel versus Capcom.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, I've never watched My Hero Academia yet. I should get on that.
You should. It's a very good series.
Yeah, because I just... Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I almost only know it though from some of the clips I've seen of the show, because it's like I've not really had the drive to sit down and watch the whole thing myself.
I don't blame you.
On top of that, it's like just a couple of clips, the music, and that's really all got going for me from the show.
Yeah. I will say that when it comes to anime these days, I give my series like a 3-strike rule. Like, I watch the first 3 episodes, and if I'm interested in what happens next after I'm finished with episode 3, I push forward. If I don't give a shit by episode 3, I drop it.
That's a good rule to have.
That's what happened with Sword Art Online.
Oh, I have a story about Sword Art Online.
I was gonna tell you, watch Overlord.
Don't watch Overlord? I heard don't watch Overlord.
No,
Overlord's good.
Fuck SAO, watch Overlord.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that one of the demon girls is like extremely thirsty or something. I don't know. I'll get her some water.
Dude, you have to watch it from the beginning to find out about that, because holy shit.
Yeah, I've seen the memes. I haven't really seen anything outside of that.
Yeah.
Memes don't do enough justice, trust me. I know it's coming there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I first watched SAO when it first came on Toonami.
Konami.
And I watched the first season. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. Watched the second season. It was complete shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is wrong with this
Nothing
series?
could save season 2.
I was like, fuck this series. I'm not watching anymore. And they keep coming out with the SAOs, and I'm like, I'm not watching them. you
Yeah.
you failed on season 2.
See
No.
To
what's.
be fair, if you want to watch SAO, you go watch SAO Abridged.
Yeah, there you go. It's there's a shout out for something witty entertainment. Or are you
Yeah.
talking about a different abridged?
No,
Because
I'm talking
that's the
about
one.
the one you're thinking about, SAO
Okay.
Abridged.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the one
'cause
everybody
just
knows.
I just finished watching Origami. That was a pretty good anime.
Yeah.
Speaking of anime, since it's also a topic for Konami, something else we can talk about later too. The more positive section is the Castlevania anime or Netflix.
Yes, I have heard many good things about it,
Yeah,
despite it
so
being
have
Netflix.
Oh, it is fucking glorious.
Despite
Yeah,
Netflix being
never
behind it,
watched
I have heard nothing but positivity. I might check it out later today after Danganronpa.
Let's put it like this here though. If you get someone who actually respects the fucking series to
And the
make a
source
show,
material.
that's what you end up.
You end up with something good.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's here's the thing. It's the anti-Dragon Ball evolution.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
We have to talk about that because that is the pure fact of people not knowing what the fuck they were doing with the series and they fucked it up. The Castlevania Netflix
Thankfully-
series is the complete opposite of that spectrum.
Thankfully, Mr. Toriyama has confirmed that that movie is not canon.
Oh fuck, dude! I wouldn't consider that thing canon at all.
So we have Mr. Toriyama to thank for that. Oh, goodness.
But to be fair,
Thank
I
you,
also feel
Toriyama-san.
to be fair, I also think I gave my issue with Dragon Ball Super, where it's like, oh my fucking Christ, this is so predictable at this point now. It's insane. Where
Yeah.
the side characters are more interesting than Goku.
I want to watch Super, but just the Goku Black arc because Future Trunks is back, and I love Future Trunks because Future Trunks is a badass.
Yes, he is.
I think we can all agree on this.
I'm
Yeah.
so pissed off at how they really end that whole thing because they pull a massive fucking cop out on one thing. But here's the thing though. But it's a two-pronged thing. They pull a cop out on on a fusion, and they pull a bullshit on something. It's good on Trunks it's good for how it goes there, but fucking Christ, it literally felt like an ass pull.
Yeah, I do want Future Trunks to have his own spin-off series of just entirely new villains to deal with because he's a badass and he needs like more development. I think a spin-off series involving Future Trunks would be really fun and really cool.
Yeah, I mean, Goku got murdered, and he's still going on strong. Like, yeah, I'm gonna murder some shit. Like,
Goku,
that's badass.
Son Goku has been killed like 5 times, I think.
Well, in the movie, Gohan got killed, and Trunks. And
Hey, look, it's Spyro.
In total, there's been at least, counting Super as well, there's probably been at least 4 times Goku has actually died. Counting everything that we know of.
Yeah.
it's like an episode of Supernatural. People die, but dying doesn't matter.
Well,
How
maybe
did you
5.
survive?
Well, maybe actually 5 if you get for the whole, multiverse theory crap.
Yeah. Multiverse theory's a bitch.
That's an understatement.
Oh boy. Is it weird that I kind of want My Hero Academia to have like a multiverse arc or something where a bunch of evil clones of like all the main characters come in and they have to fight each other?
Give it
Like an
time.
evil All Might comes in and like starts trashing the place.
Give it time. I'm sure there's a way for someone to. I'm pretty sure there's a way for someone having a quirk that allows them to create clones or replicate certain powers and such.
I would absolutely love to see like a Midoriya shoot style versus evil All Might. It would just be the coolest thing. Oh man.
What about your your frog girl? She would have an evil clone.
Yeah, exactly. And they'd have like a tongue fight or something. I don't know.
Oh, that would be some hentai shit.
No, not the kind of thing. Not the no. That's a family program. A family picture.
Well, that image is in your head already, Yoshi. It's not going anywhere.
Worse images have been planted in my head, believe you me.
That's wholesome.
Or this okay, I think with the first few F-bombs that we've dropped, I think we've established this is not exactly a family-friendly environment, but still.
Well, dude, let's be honest here. If you're gonna have me involved, it's not gonna be friendly family.
Yeah, there will not be friendly families whatsoever.
What's a friendly family in the first place, actually?
I don't know what that is like.
I know what it's like. It was a
Man,
beautiful
I'm
time.
sorry, that got dark.
Oh boy. So I guess we should talk about the positive things that Konami has put out besides the Castlevania anime, which again heard good things about. I want to go watch it. Might check it later.
Well, I haven't read anything positive about Konami.
Well, they made Metal Gear. That's not owned by them anymore because Kojima left. Well, actually, it kind of still belongs to them because they made that shitty Metal Gear Survive zombie game that nobody likes to talk about.
And didn't they like threaten Kojima that if he left, they would keep Metal Gear? And Kojima was just like, "You can have it. I'm leaving."
Yeah, I'm just picturing him walking out of the building holding up 2 middle fingers on his way out, like "Fuck you guys."
Or better yet, though, you know that song, "Fuck That Shit I'm Out" song. Put,
Yeah.
Kojima's head on the stick figure.
Fuck that shit. I don't have that in my meme bucket. I wish I did.
Yeah, but at least you know about it, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna put some image in people's heads now too if they watch it.
Yeah, there we go.
Alright,
Oh,
so I
man.
guess I'll start with some of the positive things I got with Konami then.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Alright, so the game I mentioned earlier, it's surprising for some people, it's not gonna be Super Castlevania 4.
Oh,
Frank, I didn't get into Castlevania until way later. Like,
yeah.
the game I'm talking about is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
What?
It's an oldie, but it's a goldie.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, I grew up on that. I was like, that was my Konami game for the longest time, and I had the most fun. It was a game that was odd for me as young because I didn't really understand a fighting game. And to be frank, that was the only fighting game I've ever really owned for the longest time when I was a kid, and I still enjoyed it, even though I did use cheat systems a lot because I was a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes as a child, you were done with a bag of bricks.
I
Why is it so hard?
I had a friend that I went over to his house a few times to play games with him, and he used cheat codes for a couple of games. We played like Star Wars Battlefront 2 together every so often, and we were like huge Star Wars nerds back in the day. I still have yet to like give him a phone call lately because it's been a long time and I've been out of contact with him for like 6-7 years somewhere in there, and I feel really bad about it.
Well, maybe
I'm not even sure.
Happy if you gave him a call.
Yo, Chris,
I don't know.
if you're watching this, call me. Just leave a comment. I'll give you my phone number to PM.
But after that, it's like I didn't really get into a lot of Konami stuff. Like I came across them more when I started browsing YouTube and watched certain channels when they talk about things, and that's how I started getting into like the Metal Gear series, the Castlevania series, and a bunch of other ones too from them. But it's like that's been the key problem for Konami too, is that they've only really they solely focus on Castlevania and Metal Gear Solid. And as we all know, what happened when they made Castlevania Judgment, that they pretty much sunk the Castlevania ship.
Mm.
And Metal Gear Solid, where 5 was a gigantic clusterfuck, and after Kojima left, because of the clusterfuck that duology turned into, they sunk the Metal Gear ship with the fucking Survive.
You know, I'm just like, what was the title of that game supposed to imply? Were you supposed to survive a completely dreadful and shitty game, or were you supposed to survive the wrath of Konami? Shit.
No, I didn't. Though almost like that though for that Tournament Fighters game. One of the things that people who probably don't even know about this, because that game was released on 3 different systems. There was the NES, the Super Nintendo, and the Sega Genesis. And the funny thing is, all three of them are very true to like the old Turtle comics.
Yeah, the
The
ones
Sega
that were
Genesis
like
one,
black and white with all the blood and shit.
not that
Oh,
faithful,
not those.
no. But here's the thing though, like the stories, characters, and stories from the comics. The Sega Genesis one was about the Dimension X with their evil clones of the characters.
Yeah.
The NES was a standard fighter with a character that wasn't. And here's the thing: all the games have characters that are not in the others. Like the Sega Genesis has the four turtles. Uh, has Casey in there. It has April and a couple other characters. The NES one had a Triceraton. I forget what their race name was, but it's one of the Triceraton guys from one of the stories. And the Super Nintendo that I grew up with had a lot of different comic characters and one original character that Konami threw in.
Hmm.
And Super Nintendo had characters like Armagon, which is a bipedal shark who wants to cover the world in water to rule it. The monster War, Wingnut. Literally, as his name implies, that's literally the best I describe for him. And of course, though, the character, one of the newer characters they added in, or their original character being Asuka, when she's been in nothing else but just that one game.
Hmm.
And she pretty much had to be sent when she came to the West for her animations.
Is there a Knucklehead McSpalzatron? Sorry, I just hear Wingnut and I can only think of that SpongeBob movie quote.
No, not that, but literally, that's the actual character's name. And he's like this weird, he's this crazy flying anthropomorphic bat creature.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but just say the reason why Asuka had to be censored was because her victory animation had jiggle physics.
Yay, jiggle physics.
And the other thing is, though, her outfit was a little more on the revealing side. Though they kept all of her attack animations the exact same, though.
Who doesn't enjoy a little bit of cleavage in their games, right?
Well,
Sony doesn't.
Well, says less cleavage, and more so her boobs actually jiggled.
Well, of course they do, silly. What'd you expect them to do?
Well, according to every single JRPG, every female must have jiggly boobs. It must be scantily clad.
Not every JRPG. Persona 5 was pretty tame.
Yeah, but that's like the thing that everybody thinks of with JRPGs.
Yeah.
Or here's the other thing, or have that be an optional clothing change, the Dragon Quest series.
That too.
Yeah. There's a lot of things in like video game censorship that could be fixed with just a single thing in the options menu that you could put in, but I understand that it probably takes a lot more funding, a lot more programming stuff, because then you have to like make two different versions of the same game, and that probably takes a lot of extra work. But
Yep.
it would be an easier solution to the problem, honestly.
Yeah, so let's go through the history I've got with Konami. What about you, Yoshi? And real quick before going on this, here's something else that people may call, why do we bring this up too? I'll say it now. Don't forget, folks, erotic violence is a thing.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Erotic violence? What?
I may or may not have had some experience exploring that part of the internet, and I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
I do not feel good about it. Believe you me.
Alright, then.
Konami, there's a reason why that phrase is very hilarious.
Oh. Oh dear.
Can I say though, you know when Konami started to do the whole pachinko bullshit?
Yeah.
That's pretty much one of the things they used for the Castlevania one. Literally, it was erotic violence was one of the selling points on that.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said we talk about Konami. You have to bring up both fuck Konami and the whole erotic violence one, because those are just hilarious in their own right at this point.
Yeah. So, my history.
That's remembered also. We completely forgot about another series of theirs, Silent Hill.
Oh yeah, that series
Oh
that
God,
everybody
Silent Hill.
likes. That everybody likes, that they ruined. Fuckers.
It also had
Tried
an
that
arcade
game.
shooter version, which was a weird ass thing, but still strangely enjoyable.
Strangely enjoyable, yeah.
I mean, I
And then
heard
and
about
then
PT, how it was a good like spin-off to Silent Hill, and then they decided,
they hit the
nah,
cancel
this
button.
game. They're like, nah, just take this
Uh,
game, put it in the trash.
Norman Reedus, sorry, you're a great guy. We love having you here, but this game's not gonna sell well. Bull fucking shit.
Yeah, that's the guy's name, Norman Reedus.
Yeah. Anyway, my positivities with Konami. Where do I begin?
Oh boy.
I don't have a lot of talking points.
That involves the closet.
The closet. Shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out.
What closet?
Oh boy.
Just set me up, motherfucker. I'm gonna take a shot at.
Oh boy. Alright, so most of my positivity stems from Yu-Gi-Oh! And mostly the anime more so than the card game. I enjoyed the card game a good bit. It made me a couple of friends that I still talk to and hang out with. And they're cool.
Fuck Pendulum Summon.
Yeah, fuck that shit. That shit was bullshit.
I don't even play the card game. So.
But the anime itself, you know, a lot of people say that after the fourth series came out, it just started going downhill. I don't entirely disagree with that, but I will say what I will say here. The original series, I discovered maybe, how many years ago? I discovered it
the
like...
original Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, I discovered it about
Heck knows.
7 years ago, around 2011.
Yeah, I mean, probably about close to almost 20 by this point.
Yeah, and I marathoned the whole thing. Enjoyed the heck out of it. It was really fun. Really enjoyed it. Watched the movie Pyramid of Light. I have the DVD for Dark Side of the Dimension sitting next to me. Really enjoyed that. They did a lot of the characters justice.
The first movie as well. That's good.
Fucking Kaiba in that movie, by the way. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love. Oh boy. I love what they did with this character in Dark Side.
Dark Side of the Dimension yet. That's next.
Yeah, I will not spoil it. I will just say there is something that is completely ridiculous that he does because he's Seto Kaiba, and it fucking works.
Well, to be fair, though, that whole entire movie in its own right is a giant love letter to the old series, and it's a fucking meme machine of its own right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Kaiba is indeed the grand meme machine, because Joey doesn't get enough screen time in that movie to become the meme machine that he is in the original series.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen the memes.
Have green hair.
I do not have any of those memes in here, and I'm sad. Oh wait, I skipped the best meme.
What was the meme again?
Screw
the world, I have great hair.
One thing you should probably check out is probably check out season 0 of Yu-Gi-Oh!
I don't know if I've watched that all the way through, but I have watched a few episodes. It's pretty alright.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched some of them too, and I'm like, God damn, this is what it was originally going to be like. Holy shit.
Yeah. And,
yeah, it was dark, man.
Oh, it was very faithful to the manga. Like I said, season 0 was so faithful to the manga, like, holy crap.
Yeah. And then I checked out GX. I thought GX was okay. I didn't think it was bad like some people thought. I didn't think it was amazing like some people fanboy over it. And
I thought it was good when I watched it, but now I don't remember anything about it, so I'll have to watch.
I am curious about like going back and watching it subtitled, because I watched the dub and I made the horrible mistake in doing that because I was young and stupid and a weeaboo. Still kind of am today.
My personal opinion of that whole thing, I'd rather watch. if I had the option, I'd rather watch the dub of the anime instead of watching the sub, so I don't have to keep looking down and reading the goddamn subtitles.
Yeah, you get used to it if you know what I mean.
I still rather do it, even though I've done it before. Even though I've watched anime like that in the past, I still rather watch the actual
Yeah,
fucking show
yeah,
than have to keep glancing down to read read the fucking
yeah.
subtitles. And I'll
Sometimes
also
I
say though,
pause it just to make sure.
I'll say depending on the show and depending on what they choose for the music, I'll personally say I'd rather listen to the dub version over the sub version, which I'll definitely say for Dragon Ball Z, because I'd rather listen to what we got in over here in the dub than the Dragon Ball music.
I'm at, I'm I'm leaning with dub on the voices for DBZ personally. The music is all right either way, personally.
Like I say, I've watched Dragon Ball as well, and the thing's like, yes, that music fits well, but watching Z with that music, even that taking my nostalgia into account, it just feels so freaking off because it feels so slow
Yeah,
paced and more on the comical side of things instead of like
yeah,
the usual intense like an actual
yeah,
like blood pumping prepping for a fight thing that we got in the West.
yeah.
Which right up a wall, because trying to find to watch online, all of them have the freaking
Yep,
sub music,
yep,
and not even and they don't even have the replacement Bruce Faulkner music. The music they use to replace his, they don't even have that. I'm like, oh my
yep,
lord, that sucks.
yep.
That sucks worse than actually not. That sucks worse than actually having Bruce Faulkner, which I love Bruce Faulkner's shit.
Yeah. And so after GX, I checked out. I haven't finished GX, by the way. I kind of stopped because it was getting really ridiculous, and I was like, even for Yu-Gi-Oh standards, this is getting kind of stupid.
Well, to be fair, we never get the final season of GX dubbed over
Yeah.
either. So
So
Yeah, it's all subbed.
so I said, fuck it, I'll go watch 5Ds now, and I'm glad I made that decision to not only watch 5Ds but to watch it both ways, subbed and dubbed, and I enjoyed both versions because you know what? I I am about to say something very controversial. Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds is the best fucking anime ever made. Fight me.
I mean, I enjoy 5Ds myself, but you also gotta remember 5D was also being dubbed around the time where 4Kids were still
Yeah,
being their heavily censored pain in the ass selves.
yeah.
So we in contrast lost some of the episodes we that
We
came out there, and again the
we
series
did
was
miss a
never.
few episodes. We did miss a few episodes from the
We
the
missed
Grand
Minecraft. We
Prix,
missed
and we
like
did
Final
miss
20.
the final set of episodes where they go into the Arc Cradle and fight everybody, which I watched subtitled and really enjoyed too. There were
Yeah,
some
Yeah,
really
like I
good
yeah.
said,
moments in there.
yeah, I said like we essentially said we missed the last. We missed like well, like I said that even like they stopped at the beginning of the essentially the next season of 5Ds as it was.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, like it was like we got what the first episode and that was it. And again, we missed like we lost about like a total I think 20 episodes that weren't dubbed over
Roughly, yeah.
from the original. Yeah, so it's like that was still with it being their heavily analyzed cells with that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest here, 5Ds where I initially stopped watching the anime because I'll say this right now, I've actually seen Zaxel, some of it, and
I
the main character pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah, fuck Yuma.
Oh my god. I tried to watch Sexel, because it was on Cartoon Network, and I was like, let me try to watch this. I could not take Yuma's English voice. I was like, what the fuck
It's
is this shit?
by the way,
I was like,
that's
no,
the same
no.
person that played Chaz Princeton in GX voicing him. Just
Oh
throwing
my
that
him
out
as
there.
Chaz, though. I liked him as
It's
Chaz.
the Chaz as the main character, but it's not
Oh
Chaz.
my god! Oh, I feel
What
sorry.
happened? I liked you as Chaz. What happened?
Chaz it up, Chaz it up, Chaz it up.
Well, I mean, like I said, here's the thing I'll say. Like, I won't say it's because the main character, like the voice was. It's just the way they had him set up for the duel that I saw, which was where where the main character is supposed to act like he knows what the hell he's doing, when in fact
Yeah,
he doesn't know jack shit.
yeah.
And I feel like if this ain't even the first episode, this represents the character from there to this point here, which I think it was this one where he's going up the elevator where he's having to duel this guy because there's a bomb that would go off if he doesn't win or some shit like that.
Some shit, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like if this is how the main character is going to be for a good portion of the series, I'm not going to like this.
Neither
So
am
to be
I,
fair,
yeah.
I can say to be fair, And I said that says something when I played, like example, Tales of the Abyss has Luke von Fabre being the most. Oh Christ, the guy was. I did not fucking like the guy as a character, but I enjoyed the way he fought in the game, so I dealt with it. But then they quickly changed that around, like not even the halfway point through the game does that change. It's like,
Yeah.
hallelujah, this like I can actually enjoy the character again.
Yeah, he had his
Yeah,
turning point.
Luke is pretty much an ass, and then he just then he gets better, which I do like. It's character development at its finest, and I do like Luke for that. But before that, fuck Luke. Afterwards, he's the best character.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what I felt like the problems with Yuma is that it feels like if I don't remember what episode that is in, but that's how he's supposed to be for a good part of the first season potentially. I don't know if
Yeah.
I enjoy this or not because I mean, here's the thing. Yes, we know that Yugi and even Jaden were really good duelists, but they were not obnoxious. Like they were good for what they could handle initially.
Jaden was cocky, but he wasn't.
Characters.
Jaden was cocky, but he wasn't as cocky as Yuma is, and he wasn't as arrogant as a piece of shit. And you could actually still enjoy and have fun with the character. You could poke fun at him. Yuma, you can't really poke fun at because he's a fucking asshole.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the other thing about it too. Was that he was mainly dueling because he likes to duel, so it's like
Yeah,
you can also enjoy it. That's why he gets cocky because he's having fun with the duel.
yeah, he's having fun. It's like a basketball game to him. He's winning and he's getting cocky. To Yuma, it's like what's a fair comparison here? Let's be honest here.
High School Musical.
There you go.
Troy.
I mean, I don't like High School Musical actually.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get where you're coming from. I'm just, and the problem was though, like if Jaden was cocky, he still respected his opponent.
Yeah, exactly.
As we saw when he was doing Zane, and Zane was thoroughly beating his ass every time they dueled.
Yeah, even in
same with Yugi. It's like he had confidence, but
Yugi had confidence issues actually. The Pharaoh helped him get his confidence back, technically.
Yeah, Yugi has confidence issues. It's the 10 that helps him out.
Yeah, but still, he still respected his opponent.
Yeah, and
like it was a good duel. You were a good guy. Let's have a duel next time. I'm sure Yuma's just like teabagging him, like I won.
yeah. He's like those. You know what he's like? He's like those fucking squeakers that you run into on every Call of Duty, on every Halo, every multiplayer first-person shooter server. Fuck that guy. I know you mean well, but your parents raised you wrong. All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to be confident, but should be confident to the point of arrogance. I
know. Yeah. And I feel like they just kind of repeated this character in Arc 5, which I hear a lot of good things about. I hear that 5D's characters make cameos and they come back and they have a couple of motorcycle duels, which are really fun. And I'm just sitting there, I got to episode 10 and I was like, I just can't stand this Yuya guy. He's like Jaden, but I don't like him. I was watching the subtitle version.
Okay, I can get you where you can go through there because I watched the sub myself and I see some of the episodes and the new way dueling is introduced is fine enough. Though I feel like it's a little.
Yeah, I thought action cards were interesting.
Yeah. And of course, though, they also start tying in the different dimensions too. Which, if you were to stop and think about it, if it wasn't for the fact that the shows, like the first 3 shows, were at least linked, because let's be perfectly honest here, there's no way in like they literally even still keep the Kaiba name going through in the 5D. So it's like the standard Yu-Gi-Oh, we know GX, and then of course 5Ds, all 3 are linked together.
Yeah.
Don't know about Zaxel. I don't think anyone's gonna be bothered enough to watch through Zaxel to figure out if it is or not.
Yeah, my homie over at Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, Mr. Dylan, can hook you up with a big theory on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Timeline. But, yeah.
As we know, with 5Ds, that they were tying dimensions in together, where each of the dimensions had a version of said person, as we know, Yuya. And each version specialized in a different type of summoning style, which was all the different versions of special summons that were focused on the original show's point.
Yeah,
minus rituals.
of course.
Yeah, and which if you stop thinking about it, that also means the whole series can be tied hands. Like the first season was more so about standard special summonings and the rituals when they came in. GX was about fusions. 5Ds was synchros, and then of course Zaxel was the exceed summoning.
Yeah.
And then of course you get to
And then you get to Arc 5 and pendulums. And they don't even really thoroughly explain it in the show how the fuck that mechanic works. Like, I remember on episode 2, 3, they were trying to replicate the pendulum summoning that he did in part 2 of the first duel he was in. You know, the kids are like, alright, pendulum, do the thing, do the thing. He gets his ass kicked in the duel. He's not able to do it. His duel disc says error. We cut ahead, and he figured it out. It's like, cool, how do you do it? No explanation. No, zero explanation. I'm just sitting there like, thanks, guys.
Yeah, because
The
I think the problem
explanation
they
is
have
that it's bullshit.
The explanation is bullshit.
Plot device.
I feel the problem they have with the initial fact is they may look like Yuya is somewhat possessed when he first attempted summoning, and then he eventually learns it. But after later on when he meets I forget his exceed version of himself that comes to his world.
Yeah, I don't know.
And ends up disappearing.
Like I said, I quit after episode 10. I don't know shit.
Well, it's funny here though. His exceed version came over there, and he eventually ends up disappearing. So those two versions combined together, because now Yuya will now start using not only his Odd Eyes Dragon, he'll also now start using the Exceed Dragon as his name.
Yeah.
And at that point there, though, and then eventually you start seeing combinations between the Exceed Dragon and his Odd Eyes. And every time he starts doing that stuff, you see his eyes get this kind of dark glow, like goes almost darker coloring, and then it's red, and his eyes just turn red. Which is sort of referred to as Berserk Yuya, as it's called, from this show, for what I've seen of the clips of it.
Oh, okay.
And here's the thing: when he gets like that, he's less about his it becomes less his usual carefree dueling self, and it becomes much more of a cold-hearted son of a bitch. So like he starts out like Jaden.
Evil King Jaden.
Well, as I say, he starts out like Jaden, and then when the Berserk mode activates, he turns more into Kaiba.
Oh.
He's not Kaiba was.
So he
was a cold-hearted son of a bitch whenever he duels.
So they don't turn him into Supreme Ruler Jaden then.
Oh no, not that far. But like I said, when he goes Berserk, it's like here's the thing. When he's Berserk, the fun of the duel goes out the window, and he just literally says, "Fuck you," because his whole point is though he's going to tear your ass apart. Like, the first example we see of this though, he's dueling a guy who's using a monster that affects monster levels. So when he goes this Berserk form and the music changes, which by the way, the sub version for that music kicks ass. He pulls out the Exceed Dragon, and when the guy tries to use his monster's effect on him, it doesn't work because Exceed monsters don't have levels; they have ranks. So he was literally able to use his the Exceed Dragon's effects, both of them, and tear that guy's monster a new one, and win that duel for him. And everyone in the stadium was dead silent because of how that turned around.
Huh.
Yeah, but again, I said the show starts getting a lot crazier later on because they start literally showing about dimensions interfering and fighting each other. And of course they bring back the turbo duels where. But the funny thing is, you're getting to watch Yuya learn how to turbo duel.
Yeah.
He doesn't get those the dual boards like Leo and Luna got in the 5D.
I hear that him and Jack have a duel and that Jack wins, and I want to see that one, but I can't find it on YouTube because copyright is an issue. Yeah, I just want to see the duel. I don't want to see the episodes. I don't want to see the bullshit opening or anything. I just want to see the full fight because it sounds awesome. because I want to see somebody kick his ass.
And then, of course, we move on to Reigns, which I've not watched a single bit of.
I can tell you right now, it's the main gimmick of that show is to advertise Duel Links, and it starts off nice. It starts off pretty good, pretty good. And it takes a little bit of a dip towards the middle, and there's obviously a lot of episodes that you're gonna have to skip over because they had the biggest issue people have had with this series so far is the recap episodes. If you thought Yu-Gi-Oh! The first series was bad with the couple of episodes they had in between seasons where they did the recap shit, boy howdy, are you going to love this series.
But, well, to be fair, though, with the other series, though, the recap episodes, again, never that bad thing, because they usually play either at the very end of the initial season or at the beginning of the next one to catch people up who might have missed out on some stuff.
With this series, it's literally every 8 episodes. Every 8 episodes, there was a fucking recap in that first season. Thankfully, they toned it down a bit with only 2 so far in season 2. Holy crap, do I not want another one. Oh, boy.
Well, I mean, let's also be honest here, too. The other problem with Reigns is the fact that it's also brought in the introduction to link summoning, and that just makes the game even more complex and insane as it was before. Because remember, Yoshi, the game originally was originally much more slower, more methodical kind of duel.
Yeah, of course, it was like a chess game essentially, but with cards.
Yeah. Then I eventually think it was either around 5Ds or.
It was around the Zexal area.
Yeah, right around Zexal, where the game started becoming a lot more on the
speedy side, yeah.
With what you need and get out your OTK or your one-turn KO essentially as fast as possible now.
Yep.
And then, of course, as we all know, Pendulum Monsters literally broke that thing straight in half. To where if your archetype wasn't in a pendulum format, you were kind of fucked over entirely once Pendulum Monsters came.
The only archetype they came out with during that time period that could actually survive the Pendulum onslaught was Melodius and Fluffle. From my experience.
And now we've got
and Shadow.
And now that we've got to Reigns, where the format is still the same, but the difference now is getting out your Link monsters, and then proceeding to fill the rest of your board either with more Link monsters to co-link, or to pretty much force your opponent into a situation where they have to either kaiju your shit, which, by the way, when I looked that stuff up, fuck kaiju, what the hell was Konami even thinking with those cards?
Yeah, I don't understand how they work, I just know that they're bullshit.
Well, here's the thing, though. It says right now, though, the idea that you want to make monsters based on the kaijus is cool and all, but what they gave them there are complete and total horseshit.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Son of a bitch.
Well, I can also be quite honest, though.
Oh, right.
Go ahead, Yoshi.
So, fun fact. This series alone is the first one where the main protagonist, Ace Monster, Firewall Dragon, has been banned in competitive play.
Oh yeah, I saw a few reaction videos about that. It's like, oh my god.
Stardust Dragon, perfectly fine. Pendulum Dragon, perfectly fine. Galaxy Dragon, perfectly fine. Whatever the fuck Jaden had, perfectly fine. Curse of Dragon, it's a vanilla. Yeah. I thought the Elemental Heroes had like a dragonic character or something. I don't remember, like Draco Neos or something. Maybe I'm making shit up.
It's more so came down to it was Elemental Heroes, Neospatians, and
Yeah.
Elemental Hero Neo.
Yeah. The best news about the ban list so far, though, is Stratos is finally free. The meme is dead. A moment of silence for our fallen meme lords.
Alright,
there we go.
How do you feel about the N-word, just real simple?
I will say we should not use it on the podcast. In the rest of my content, it's fine.
Gotcha. I just want to make sure though, because you know how the meme goes, so that's why.
Yeah. You can say ninja. We'll use the safe word.
I'm not gonna. Not that. It's a dishonor to the meme. So I'm not gonna say it in that case.
Everything okay over there? I heard somebody's phone going off.
That's stars.
And it was an alarm
Oh, okay.
for my mom to call back.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, literally throughout the whole series, though, the main character's Ace Monster has never really been the most powerful one. Like, literally in the original series, the strongest thing, the
Yeah.
strongest Ace Monster in that series was Kaiba's Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Technically speaking,
But as
yeah.
we all know,
Well,
there
actually,
was the
Blue Eyes
one-
Ultimate. Technically speaking, when you look at points.
Well, true, but when we say Kaiba's Ace Monster, we generally say the Blue Eyes White
Yeah,
Dragon.
yeah. The monster that he always manages to summon first.
Yeah, for Kaiba it's the Blue Eyes, Yu-Gi-Oh was Dark Magician, and for
Yeah.
Joey it was the Red Eyes Black Dragon. If it wasn't
Yeah.
that, it was the Flame Sword.
The flame swordsman.
But as we're saying, like most of the characters, Ace Monsters by themselves were never overpowered or anything like that. It's what
Yeah.
is what you had to set up for them or lead with them in order that would make them ridiculously strong.
Yeah, the strongest one that we still have, technically speaking, is Stardust Dragon. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, remember, Stardust Dragon's whole thing was like it's not the most powerful one, and its effect was that in order to protect its other monsters, it can literally sacrifice.
It's a
itself,
barrier.
which also takes the other monster with.
But it's like a one-time use per turn.
Yeah. So I'm saying, it's
So
not
don't
an
waste it.
overpowered move. It's more so it's a risk of a move, and yes, you'll get it back. I think it was at your next turn, I believe it was. But
You get it back
still,
during the
sometimes
end phase of your turn, or
Yeah,
of the
so
turn
that's-
that the effect is used.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's the whole thing. Like, it's up to that point there where like if you use it against your opponent and they still have more monsters, they can still attack you. But if you use it on your turn, it's one of those more of the risk reward kind of deal with Stardust. Whereas when on Firewall, it was bullshit from the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, I remember seeing Firewall's effect in action on episode 12 or so of Rain. Other fun fact about this dragon, it's had like a double standard going on with it. So, in competitive play, it has been abused, right? Not the case in the show. In the show, it has been underused. Our protagonist, Mr. Playmaker, has been neglecting his ace monster, and we should all point at him in shame. Fuck you, Playmaker, for neglecting your best dragon buddy. Threw him under the bus.
Oh yeah, because what's the thing on Firewall? Like, it was more like if you use a deck that was more akin to like a burn type deck, it was literally godly before it could pull off.
But I don't know why you would use it in tangent with like burn decks or something when you're supposed to use it with Cyber's monsters, right? Kappa.
Dude, when it comes to the game, people find ways to use other monsters in there. If the monsters either got generic enough material or an easy enough way to get certain things that you need to bring it out, that's it. It doesn't really matter. People, like I say, did you really think people have been playing the Chaos deck that people have been playing this day would have been any better? But then when they brought the new Thunder Dragon support, Chaos Thunder Dragons became a legit thing.
I never thought I'd see the day.
I never thought I'd see the day where Chaos would get good enough support simply because the Archetype itself got support. Where Thunder Dragons, which I'll admit they needed it, but because most of the new Thunder Dragons were light and dark based, that literally gave birth to Chaos Thunder Dragons.
Yeah. Ah, man.
And sadly, it's probably gonna be the best format for Chaos decks as it stands because of that.
I want to touch back one more time on 5Ds, though, just so I can gush a little bit more about the series, because the way it ended, I will not spoil for Star, per se, but there's a certain monster that's used to finish that duel and they could not have picked a better monster to end all things off with. You know which one I'm talking about?
I'm pretty sure I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, because it's the same monster we saw before in another duel in the series that just kind of kicked things off. And I thought that was a very poetic way to end the series, and it was just a really good way of displaying that Yusei doesn't solely rely on Stardust Dragon to get out of all his jams.
Well, I mean, to be fair, dude, even when he got Stardust back, he didn't really rely on Stardust to get out of the jams.
Exactly, yeah.
And just for the duels that got stuck in, Stardust is what Stardust could do, or when he was wanting to settle something like when he was dueling Jack, where, you know,
yeah.
he made that personal. So he made it personal. In fact, yes, it is going to be Dragon versus Dragon against Jack.
Yeah. I rewatched those episodes dubbed recently. I just for funsies, really. I really do like those episodes. I just love the series 5Ds in general. I think it's the best Yu-Gi-Oh series by far, subbed or dubbed. In all honesty, even if you are missing parts of the story if you watch the dub version.
Which is mildly annoying though, because I was honestly saying though, like if they ever started trying to redub shows and stuff nowadays with, like, you know how they did with Dragon Ball Z, Kai,
Yeah.
and whatnot.
Yeah.
I would honestly say, I don't know if I won't say this, the original Yu-Gi-Oh series does not need it, but I will say GX and onwards could use that just to get either to finish dubbing them or to redo some of the episodes they did. Because let's be honest here, for the standard one in GX, there was don't forget about the whole pot of greed meme.
Yeah. What does Pot of Greed do? Oh man.
Lord, just about every episode that card was used.
Oh man.
I mean, that's the problem with those like original Yu-Gi-Oh and then GX. They literally told you what Pot of Greed did way too many times, and then afterwards that they started moving away from Pot of Greed for your draw effect, but they still gave them other draw cards that are completely different.
Yeah. Oh boy. What's there left to talk about? Oh yeah, why there probably will never be like something like Dragon Ball Z Kai for Yu-Gi-Oh series, because Konami is in charge of the dubs now. And they're not doing us any favors. I saw the opening they came up with for the West Coast version of Arc 5. Oh boy, it's so bad. It is so bad. It's worse than the One Piece rap.
Well, I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you, the One Piece rap, I got a guilty pleasure for that. Though. Yes, I'll admit though, the new dub stuff is a lot better, but I still have a guilty pleasure for the One Piece rap.
Yeah.
I like the One Piece rap.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, that's one thing I'll definitely give for kids. When it came to bringing shows to the West, they definitely knew how to give us a good opening.
I still think the Kirby opening is the superior one. Kirby, he's the star of the show.
Kirby, right back at ya.
Kirby, he's the star of the show.
There's Yoshi. You say Kirby right back at you, and I raise you Ultimate Muscle.
Okay, that was pretty good. That shit was pretty good.
Ultimate Muscle was heavily censored, but it was still a very good show considering it was censored. Because have you seen what the original Ultimate Muscle manga is like?
I have not actually. You'll have to like send me pictures or something. I don't know.
Oh, I've not seen it.
Pics or it didn't happen.
I can't believe it, but holy shit! It's like Yu-Gi-Oh in the sense, like the Yu-Gi-Oh manga is a hell of a lot more dark, whereas the same with the Ultimate Muscle manga. Holy shit! Is it dark.
Still waiting on that diabetes joke for Yugi, by the way.
Diabetes.
Yeah, apparently Yugi has type 1 diabetes.
What?
Yeah. It was in like a chapter right in the middle of the original manga where Joey asks him if he's okay if his blood sugar is getting a little low or something.
Huh.
Ah, holy shit.
And Lil Karibo was asked about that at a convention he was at like 2-3 years ago. And he said he'll have to find a way to work a joke about that into the script. And we still haven't gotten it.
I don't know. So how can you joke about type 2 diabetes?
Yeah, maybe he's had second thoughts, I don't know. It's still very strange. Oh, man.
So let's be honest here, though, let's give him props. He did the Draw Monster Cardo one perfectly.
Oh, yeah, that... In the subtitle version, that's just hilarious. Actually, English in general, when you're watching subtitle shows, is hilarious. I point specifically to My Hero Academia's All Might for all the best English in the world that I'm ever gonna hear, ever.
Oh my goodness!
Hang on. I think I have that. Give me one
I've heard
moment.
some good English in ya.
Hang on. Where's my meme
Can't think of
bucket?
one though.
So I will say though, I didn't mind what they did for the dub. Like I still found out like it was like holy like like holy. He said it was like
Holy shit! In
that's what I still found funny. For the dub like holy super crap. I'm like fuck. No, that's still as good as like oh my goodness, but this
yeah,
it's a little less child friendly, but it still fits perfectly with the show.
I was playing My Hero Wants Justice the other day, and when All Might gets defeated, sometimes he will say, "Holy shit!" If you get a plus ultra finish on him, it's hilarious. Holy shit!
Let's be honest here. Nothing's gonna be able to top Joseph Joestar's holy shit.
Holy shit! There's the meme. I must.
Oh, good lord. Oh,
Hang on,
Lord,
hang on,
JoJo.
hang on.
Holy shit.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is on a whole nother level. There we go.
Dude, I've watched all the first three, and I still need to go back and try to finish watching the fourth one, but still, it's like holy shit, dude.
Yes, JoJo is awesome. I finished the first season. Now I'm on the second.
Yay.
So you finished Phantom Blood and Battle Tendency?
There it is.
Yeah.
There we go.
And
This.
just first
You
episode.
see it?
The first episode of the second season, and oh my god, the way Jotaro talks to his mom. It's just like, you bitch, and he's just like, and mom's just like, okay, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Funny enough, Star Crusaders is season 3. It just when the shows were dubbed over, so they for some reason put probably because Phantom Blood and Battle Tendency were so short they put them as one season.
Oh, I see.
Let's see, where is it? Yeah, I'll post it in news.
Like Phantom Blood's part 1, Battle Tendency's part 2, and Stardust Crusaders is part 3.
There you go.
But I do like Joseph Joestar. He is hilarious. Especially in Battle Tendency.
Have you watched the sub version of JoJo, or have you checked out the dub versions?
I watched the dub. I like the dub.
Question: in Battle Tendency, do you know who was voicing Joseph then?
No, I do not. I just know that he was funny.
That's number 1 from K&D.
The ball kid?
Yes, Nigel Uno, number 1 from Kids Next Door, was voicing Joseph Joestar in JoJo
Positivity bot.
Bizarre Adventure Battle Tendency.
Nani! I love Kids Next Door.
I just blew Star's mind.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
So we're in about an hour and 15 minutes into this thing. We've gushed about Yu-Gi-Oh! A little bit. We've talked shit about Konami quite a bit. We've talked about how our lives kind of suck, but they're also kind of okay at the same time. Not horrible, but you know, you never know.
It's alright.
I mean, to be fair, And to be fair, we really delved deep into a lot of the genres themselves because
We dove deep
prioritize.
into the JoJo Bizarre Adventure lore. Let's be real
I'm
here.
not talking about that. I said things from Konami. I'm saying like
Yeah.
a lot of the other games. We didn't go deeper into some of the series. Like all of us don't have a big connection with Metal Gear Solid. I've got a
You go
decent connection with
deeper.
Castlevania, but I'm probably the only one who really has who's delved into so much of that shit that knows enough, other than our friend Leo who isn't here.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
And
is he online? No, he's probably at work. Son of a.
yeah, so I mean, saying like, and on top of that, like you said, me and Yoshi, the only one, Yoshi, you and me are the probably main ones who know the most about Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, Star
Oh
knows
yeah.
some, but it's like you and me, the most of it, so we could go back and forth with some of the stuff in that. Just a lot of the stuff we can also wrap up fairly simple, as in the current way the card games change has gone from how we would like to play to what the fuck is going on anymore. While the anime steadily went down a downward slope in some regards to what the fuck is with these characters anymore.
Yeah.
And I watched Yu-Gi-Oh when I was original, and I really like GX. Now watch 5Ds, I really like that. But holy shit, Zexel, no,
Yeah. They didn't even try with the main protagonist as at least they tried something with 5Ds and Yusei. Like they made him somewhat of a Yusei, as to my recollection, is the only Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist who has ever actually thrown a physical punch at someone.
Yeah.
Well, let's be fair too, though. He's also Yusei also falls under the more, stoic kind of badass thing too.
Yeah.
Like, it's not outright stated that he is a badass, but as we see through the show, he is indeed one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he's also a little older too.
So Yami Yugi shows it repeatedly, and Jaden, as we've known, he doesn't. Only when he gets dead serious though, then he's not able to have fun with stuff. That's when things start getting. Something's wrong when Jade's not being able to have fun with a duel
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, and if anybody is familiar with the subtitled version of GX, Jaden does not have a very pleasant journey, if you will. He kind of has a downward spiral of depression by season 3, and it's really bad.
Oh yeah, and don't forget with the whole Dark Emperor stuff too. Like,
Yeah. I think in the subtitle version he actually killed somebody too.
Oh
Like
my
he's the
God.
first protagonist who's actually killed somebody.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Like somebody who's close to him, not like a villain.
Oh my God. I mean, I
I forget who it
remember
was.
the Emperor stuff and the U-Bell stuff, but holy
That's the other thing. The U-Bell is also censored too in the West, whereas in the original,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
like,
Yeah, she's
very much a androgynous-looking character.
she's something all right.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you though. Originally, U-Bell's supposed to be an androgynous character. I forgot what they did to him in the dub. It's been so long, but I think they made
female.
U-Bell look. But yeah, I think they made U-Bell look either a solid male or a solid female, and give him a female voice. But let's say
Yeah.
originally U-Bell was meant to be androgynous, like half is male, half is female.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured, but of course, 4 kids gotta be politically correct.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
PC culture.
Oh, vastly. But yeah, I'll say Yoshi, like, for the amount of stuff that Konami has put out or has got access to, a lot of us have like varying degrees of interaction with their franchise in general. Like Star's been into Secret Soka. And then how you say it, Star?
Suikoden.
Thank you. As that for me, I play part of one of the more obscure games they put out in the series. They put out, which I still fully enjoy to this day every now and then.
Turquoise?
And they got into the Castlevania series. And you and me, Yoshi, both have very strong. All three of us actually have very strong ties to the Yu-Gi-Oh, at least in the anime format.
Yeah.
And I still got me a deck of cards and a side
Yeah.
deck, but it is stuck in the older formats for what's in
Yeah.
there that there's no way in hell it'd work, even if I got the right cards to play nowadays, especially with my play style.
I know this is not exactly a fair comparison, but I like to compare our ties to Yu-Gi-Oh kind of like our ties to our favorite Pokemon generations. Like my Yu-Gi-Oh generation is 5Ds. I love Synchros. I love the 5D series. I love everything to do with 5Ds. I have a friend of mine who is very well versed in GX knowledge. He is a big GX fanboy. He loves Jaden. He loves everything to do with the GX era. And he wants a lot of the stuff that was really good back then to just make its comeback in the competitive scene.
I can see that. I mean, and the thing is, like, I grew up with the series itself. So I mean, dude, dude, just show how much I love that series. I even had an actual fucking dual disc at
Yeah.
one point.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
So,
wanted
like,
I wanted one of those to like cosplay at my high school once with my group of friends that we had, and we had this like plan device where we would talk to some of the people that ran the assemblies and stuff, and we were gonna have like a halftime uh, entertainment scripted Yu-Gi-Oh duel in the middle of like a game or something during basketball season, I think. And it was supposed to be really fun, but we unfortunately around the time we got around to trying to plan that, I had to move, so we
Oh,
never
that
actually
sucks.
got to do that, and I feel really bad because it was going to be so fun.
oh yeah, I see what, yeah. I mean, like I said, but all three of us have gone through different stuff with Konami's at varying points and got into some other stuff at different time frames and whatnot. Like I said, for me, I got in Castlevania later and then delved deep into that lore as much a good or bad idea. I'll let other people decide that on. And we've all three of us have grown up with Yu-Gi-Oh! And
Are
really
you going to be the Creed of this group? Are you going to inform us on the Castlevania lore?
Motherfucker, I very well could if you wanted me to, but I'd rather wait till Leo is here so that way me and him can do.
Star knows what I'm talking about when I say that.
Well, I don't really know much about Castlevania. Just
No,
getting
no,
into
no. I mean
Symphony of the
about Grave being Creed.
Creed.
Oh, maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. Never mind. I'm spouting bullshit.
Well, to be fair, Yoshi, you usually are every other day. That awkward silence. I just. I feel like does it go for you to register that for a minute?
Oh,
Just remind the audience who even watches. Don't forget though, this is me, Yoshi, our friend. This is just me being a dick to him because we're friends.
oh yeah. Everybody's addicted to me. I don't care.
But to be fair, I'd also expect this in return as well. Just most people generally don't.
Yeah, I was really debating hard there on like just kind of pointing the finger, like get the fuck out of my stream.
Yeah, but I think the awkward silence added to that though for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what the awkward silence was all about. Actually, I was
God damn
considering
it,
shouting
Yoshi.
that.
Yoshi, why? Why is that an actual thing in your meme pages?
What?
Why
Oh.
the Phoenix Wright dating sim looking thing? What the hell?
You like that? You like that shit?
Oh, the
It's
devil's
disturbing,
in.
for one, because Dahlia Hawthorne's on.
The devil herself.
What are you talking about? She's as pretty as can be. She's nothing wrong with her. My dolly doesn't poop.
No, she is devil.
Shut your ass right now.
She's absolutely
For your
devil
own
form.
convenience, I switched it to something new.
Dude, like I said, I'm fucking with you. So,
I know. Wait, did you see the Begone thought?
I didn't know that.
Begone thought. Yeah,
You almost killed me with that one.
there you go.
Goddamn, Yoshi. But yeah, as I said, but as we're saying, it seems like we've all kind of aired out our things about what's going on.
It seems we've like expanded our fuel, yeah. And
To be fair, though, to be fair, if there was more people here, we'd probably be able to go deeper. Again, if Leo was
yeah,
here.
we'd pull an Inception if Leo was here, and we'd never escape.
But to be fair, if Leo was here, though, we probably been kept going. Probably.
Yeah, if Leo was here, we'd have a third voice in the conversation, and we could do a lot of things, yeah. Or a fourth voice, sorry.
Yeah.
I was not counting my own.
Then again, it also depends on our own depends on the any of us actually have history with the company as well, or what the subject, what the topic's gonna be as well.
Sorry. This meme.
I feel like you're just staring at that image and just losing your shit. Or that, I'm also thinking about if you ever did the editing software, you'd end up putting that Begone Thought one as my face for some reason.
You know what? I might consider that.
Aww.
You're slowly making it bigger. I saw that.
What?
You were making it bigger. I saw that.
Yeah. Oh, I have tears in my eyes right now. Son of a bitch. Why is this image so funny? Okay, I'm moving on. Oh, there's something better in here. Oh, there's shipping. Oh, hang on. This might actually be kind of funny. I don't know. I'll gauge your reactions and I'll change it based on your reactions. Oh boy. What a meme to end on, though.
That's just like you, Yoshi. That was just like you.
Look at it. Froppy Rule 34. Can I be a hero too?
Yoshi, that is just like you. That fits perfectly.
I actually connect with Deku the most too. That's what's sad. Oh man.
Yeah. Looks like we've been going at this for about an hour and a half. Like,
Yeah, we've hit the hour and a half mark roughly, and I think all of our fuel is spent. I am more than ready to just kind of wrap this up. If anybody else has any final thoughts.
And short to put it like this here, though, the way for my life has been going standard. Konami can still choke on a dick, and hopefully they pull the gigantic, enormous spike dildo out their asses and come to realize, wow, we really fucked ourselves.
Yeah. Like, part of me hopes that they like go bankrupt or something, but then part of me is wondering where the rights to some of their good shit would go, and I'm hoping it would go to Nintendo or something, or someone competent. With the stuff they would get, like Microsoft maybe, I don't know.
To be fair, I was like that with Capcom when it came to Mega Man and Breath of Fire. I'm still like that with them for Breath of Fire at the very least.
But yeah, I haven't really heard about. Have they made a recent?
They're Final Fantasy. They're Breath of Fire 6.
Oh, they made a 6. I thought they stopped at 4.
No. There's 4, 1 and 2 are on Super Nintendo, 3 and 4 on PlayStation, which in turn they're also on their portable versions too, to a degree.
Yeah, I've seen 1, 2, and 3. 5 is what?
What'd you say?
I've seen 1, 2, and 3. 3 specifically from our buddy Serenia.
Yeah. Well, there's also 4 on PlayStation 1. Then there's Dragon Quarter, which is considered 5 on PS2, which a lot of us fans. It's a very decisive game, to put it frankly. The first 4, everyone can say you can enjoy it. They all have their own flaw. They have a flaw to them or more, depending on your own personal preference. And then there's 6, which was a mobile/browser game.
Yeah.
How'd that turn out?
Real Breath of Fire.
Shit.
I figured.
I've seen of it.
I mean, how are you supposed to make a mobile game good exactly, though?
Well, they're saying, well, for one, don't use an established franchise that's known as an RPG series.
Don't tell EA that. They won't listen. Did you see what they did earlier this year at E3 with fucking Command and Conquer that I was really salty about and still am?
Dude, I saw that and I'm like, oh man, people are gonna be pissed.
Oh yeah, I literally marked my drinking cup that day as Command and Conquer fanboy tears, and I just like set it on my desk. I was like, a moment of silence for our friends.
So. Yeah, life's okay. EA is shit. So
And then I put on an
Konami.
EA ski mask and I drank from the bottle.
So I guess that's all of our closing thoughts on the topic. graphic and for what this podcast is too.
Yeah. So this was the Grumps, Gripes, and Grumbles podcast. This was my guest, Gravekenshin, the Bleach Man, the anime, not the laundry detergent, and Star Priestess, StarGazer, sorry. And I am the Tattooed Yoshi. Next time on Grumps, Gripes, and Grumbles episode 3, whenever I get the free time to do it, because it's very limited. Hopefully sometime we'll do hang on, I have my note. Next time on Grumps, Gripes, and Grumbles, we do movies and favorite movie franchises. There we go. Franchises that have fallen from grace, such as Star Wars. Franchises that are still probably kind of going strong. Like Lord of the Rings is still kind of around. And that's it. So thanks everybody for watching, and if you are currently watching this on Twitch, stay tuned for Danganronpa Chapter 2, Part 1, coming up soon. As soon as I get some water in my system and refresh my vocal cords. And I'm gonna look for one last meme here to end things off on.
And while Yoshi is doing that, then,
there we go.
Gentlemen, just a reminder, I am Gravekenshin. I run the blood of my enemies, the tears of their loved ones, and currently adding salt of the Blue Mage fans from 11 for how Blue Mage is going to be in Final Fantasy 14. I'll say goodbye to now.
There's our meme, by the way. If you can see it. And I should be cycling to it right there.